Hello, welcome to a new video. In today's video, we're going to take a look at one of the top teams of PVPOKE. Recently, the top performers from PVPOKE got updated. And with this, we're going to have some new teams here to discover. And as the first team is a team that I showcased already before on this channel, not this season, but in the last season, I think, I kind of want to take a look at the most spiciest one of them all that I can see here, which in my opinion is this one, Morpeko, Feraligatr, and the Ferrothorn. And this is at the number 2 spot here in terms of the team ranking, which I found quite interesting. It has a very high team ranking, means a lot of victories with this team. But can this team really hold up? That was something that I was wondering when I did those battles as well, as basically this team has one very obvious weakness, and that's going to be fighting types. You're going to have a double weakness to fighting here in terms of your lead being Morpeko, being a dark type Pokemon, and Ferrothorn in the back. And I do fully understand that the combination of Dark and Steel are going to have one big benefit of having basically a synergy against the Fairy typing, as your lead is going to be weak against Fairy type Pokemon, and Ferrothorn going to be able to deal with them. And also here for an electric type Pokemon, you're going to have a Pokemon here with Ferrothorn that can still deal with those ground type Pokemon. It is a bit of a difficult one if you're going to encounter an Primeape, or is it? And today we're going to take a look at this team here. We're going to see some battles, some friendlies here, because of course Great League is not there yet, and currently have Master League and the Little Cup available, and that is not really that interesting, I would say, for most people currently. So we're going to take a look at some test battles here. And yeah, Great League going to be back later on this day as well. Today is actually Christmas for the people from at least, yeah, Germany, like here. Most of the other parts of the world, I think it's on the 25th, but here it is celebrated on the 24th. So Merry Christmas for everyone who is affected by it. Or like has it or celebrates it today. I don't know, that was maybe not the way to say it, but it is what it is. And yeah, Merry Christmas for everyone then tomorrow, I guess. Anyway, we're going to be able to win our first battle here, and we can move on to the next one. This is actually against a real life friend here as well, who we are going to have here over as well in a few months for the, what's called, I think the Unova tour it's called. So it's going to be kind of fun. We're going to see a matchup against Eelektross, and they're not too much into PvP, but I still always kind of like to see those matchups, because there are sometimes some picks that might not be something that you expect for a team, for example, like Eelektross. And yes, I am very unexperienced with the matchup of Morpeko against the Eelektross. I know that we should usually win this one, especially if we go for the Aura Wheel and boost ourselves. But I didn't know that, yeah, it was a matchup where they can still go for another charge move after one more Volt Switch here. They overfarmed, they got some extra energy. I got completely caught off guard here. Of course, I would have been able to just knock them out and very likely to sweep the entire game here with Morpeko if I played it correctly, but I didn't. And this is based on me not knowing the counts, I guess, for Volt Switch plus Crunch on an Eelektross. I'm sorry for that. In comes here the Moltres. I could have actually went for the Thunder and just knocked them out straight away. That would have been a cool play. But we're also going to have here a great answer in terms of the Feraligatr. And they're going to go back into now the Tentacruel in the back. Tentacruel actually a very good Pokemon here. Also going to allow them to resist all our charge moves. So that's going to be a very close matchup here as well. They're going to go ahead and go for a charge move. Let's see what move it is going to be. It is going to be that Scald coming in, doing some solid damage, but not enough to put us into a range where they can farm us down yet. We're going to be able to go for a Hydro Cannon. And this is how we're going to put them into range for one Power Whip. And this Power Whip is going to whip that Tentacruel. And we should be in a kind of decent spot here, because Eelektross doesn't want to get whipped as well. And that is, of course, very nice. And we're gonna move on to the next one. After all the whipping, we're going to move on now to the Dusknoir against the Morpeko matchup here. Great matchup for us. We're gonna swap out. No, we're not gonna swap out. The opponent swaps out. We can go for a Psychic Fangs, dropping the opponent's defense stat while doing a little bit of damage, putting them also into range where I can go ahead and go into my Ferrothorn and hopefully knock them out with a one charge move here. Here, that's the thing as well, I should have got a free fast move in, and this happened basically nearly every single battle. Friendlies were insanely laggy, like literally insanely laggy in terms of not the lag itself, like that the game was like really like visually glitching, but I always was losing basically one turn for certain scenarios where it definitely should have not happened. And this impacted quite a lot of games, I have to say. And oh wow, we're going to see here finally the matchup against the Primeape, and maybe he could have played this all a little bit better there, but this one is Rage Fist is coming through. I am going to go ahead and go into the Feraligatr, hoping that they go for another Rage Fist. Let's see how this is gonna go. It is going to go very, very badly because it was a close combat instead. If we actually use the shield there, I'm fairly certain we had a very solid chance of still having a shot here at winning this battle. At this point, there is not really anything I can do. And that's fine. I'm going to still use a shield here and see where my Peko is going to end up with. But at the end of the day, this is not going to go well at all. And we will see here that we're going to lose the battle there. And this is against a Fire type. And so that is definitely a bit of a tough one. And that's also why, while I do think it's a great thing that we have the top performers and those top teams on PvPoke, not all of them going to be great. It's not that PvPoke choose them themselves. They are looking, I think, as far as I know, at like training data. You can do training battles on PvPoke basically without having to use your own Pokemon. If you didn't know this, great way of training against a computer basically. And whatever team is like the best there in like a certain period, I think is going to be the one that's going to be shown up there and on the top. And that is basically how this works. And thinking of it right now, kind of makes me want to troll a little bit with that and see if I can make a team that is really, really garbage appear all on top. But like that is something that I shouldn't do that, right? I shouldn't do that. Would be a funny video though, maybe trying to play against a computer instead of like the actual opponents, trying to just see if we're gonna be able to get like a funny team up into the rankings of PvPoke would be really cool, huh? I don't know. Do you want to see that? Maybe something for January. We have a little bit more time as well for those kind of troll stuff. So let's see. Anyway, we were able to win this battle there as well, which is great. So far not actually too bad, but this team definitely has weaknesses. So like to be fair, would I recommend you to run it like this? I don't think so. I think there's one Pokemon that I would change, and this is the Ferrothorn, which is the main star kind of this team here in terms of being kind of unusual. But I feel like this team would work out if you go for Jumpluff. Jumpluff fixes your issues basically immediately. It doesn't give you a Charm Resist anymore, which is of course a bit of a tricky one in the two-shit scenario, but with the bulk that Jumpluff has and the spamminess that this Pokemon has there as well, I'm fairly certain we're going to be fine even without having access to Charm Resist. And so that's the thing that I would mostly change for this team if you want to make it a little bit better, as I think just going for Jumpluff would fix basically all the issues that this team has, and that would be a very easy solution. Of course, way more meta. Like Ferrothorn is a cool Pokemon, it is not a meta Pokemon, and there's reasons why this Pokemon is not a meta Pokemon. It just needs a better fast move in my opinion. Like if this Pokemon had a great energy generating Steel type fast move, I think it would be nearly perfect in terms of being still balanced, but still having a ton of play basically for itself and having a very unique play. And currently, of course, this is not the case. And so here we go against the next opponent. Here we're going to have a Zapdos at least against our Peko, and this is going to be a matchup where we're going to be able to go ahead and go for a Psychic Fangs, and this should be enough to knock them out. And so we're going to be able to win this next battle as well. But yeah, I feel like Jumpluff would help out quite a bit here. As you're gonna see the next opponent, I'm a bit worried about this team because a lot of times it's gonna be a Raichu, and that's actually not too bad. The reason why this is not too bad is that we're going to have the option now to align ourselves. There is no way that a Raichu gonna be able to win this battle because, I mean, if they would run Thunder Punch, they would actually have a chance here, which I'd never even considered, to be fair, but yeah, Thunder Punch actually would allow them to have a chance of winning this battle. But as you guys see here, we're going to be able to go for those charge moves anyway. This is going to look quite okay for us. We will decide to use a shield here against the opponent's move, and we're going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Cannon. This is going to be very, very interesting because this is going to allow us to knock them out. And we have the equal shield scenario. We're going to have our Ferrothorn against the ground type Pokemon. We just have to hope that there's something in the back that we can deal with later on. Well, let's see what it is going to be. If the opponent goes for a charge move, it is going to be very likely the Earthquake just to get us a little bit lower. And they swap out, and it's going to be the Charger Bug, and not what I expected at all. I expected something like a Dunsparce, something like a Bibarel, stuff like this for this type of team. But it's a very solid team. It is definitely a team that makes a lot of sense. I like the team a lot, so short C as well. I think it's a great team to run, especially with the Raichu. I feel like it's a cool one to have. But yeah, even with the debuff of the Psychic Fangs, the charge move here, even if I would have got this one off, would have not knocked them out there. So it was a good game basically from the beginning there, and that's fine. We're gonna move on to the next one. We have a party hat shiny Grimer. Like, how much do you want to flex? Like, that is ridiculous. I love it. I think it is a great idea to do exactly this. But we're gonna see this face swap of Shadow variant of shiny Sableye. Do they have a triple Shadow or like triple shiny team that is like, I don't know, spicy? Let's see it. What is? Oh yeah, it is a triple shiny team. That's something that is very cool that I did not realize while I was doing the battles. But triple shiny team, I always appreciate. I feel like if I would start over a new account, I think I would just build shiny PvP Pokemon. I think that would be like the only thing that I would build, and that would be like kind of my trademark. Of course, at this point, that's a bit tricky. And also kind of excludes me from a lot of content that I can't do then, like shadow content, which only then happens like for a few Pokemon that are shiny and I have to hunt them for 10 million years. But yeah, I definitely appreciate a little bit of shininess in this video here by the Grimer. Well, again, we're going to have a little bit of an issue here with the Grimer because, yeah, Morpeko doesn't really like the ground typing. And here, the ground typing is not even as ideal for us either. We're going to be able to let the move go through. It is hopefully not knocking us out. It is not knocking us out. We can go for the hard-hitting Thunder, and the Thunder is going to be able to get that Pokemon quite down. But they still do a ton of damage, and they're going to generate energy quite fast. And at this point, I think my only play is to just fully farm them down or something like this. But as you will see, the opponent stops out into the Dunsparce, gonna get the KO. And that is going to be a good game, because there's still the shield left. There was nothing I could have done in this battle. And that's fine. Good game there. Hard deep loss there, but we can now move on to the final one. And here, this opponent, you know already from nearly every of those battles. Basically here, we're going to have the Mega Junko always playing a little bit of spice. They asked if they can go spicy, they went spicy, and I am going to go ahead and completely destroy this one, because now I can overfarm by quite a bit. I can go into my Ferrothorn, the opponent's Pachirisu is going to be debuffed. I have Thunder on my Pokemon here as well, which is going to cover for the Driftloon swap in later on. But Shadow XL Driftloon is kind of fun. Like, definitely a cool Pokemon here to have. And as you'll see, we're going to try our best to go for the full farm now against that Pachirisu. Pachirisu doesn't really have a lot of play anymore. And we will have the Thunderbolt going to come through here. We're going to try to go for the full farm now. In comes the Driftloon, and a Thunder is going to now connect against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get the shield, and we will have also the Aurel now connecting against them. This should be fine. This should KO, but they decide to use a shield, and the 1325 CP, I think it's 25, it looks like it for me. It's a bit small for me. You see it in big on your screen there. I just see the preview quite small. But yeah, definitely a very low CP Driftloon, which is the max CP for this Pokemon, is going to get obliterated by the Morpeko. And they were asking what kind of a team I was actually showcasing, which Pokemon I wanted to showcase. This is PVPOKE team. This is why this team is here on this channel. And they have a Pawmot in the back. To be fair, Pawmot is one of the Pokemon with the most amount of potential for a future update. Like, if this Pokemon gets a better fast move than Spark, it's going to be a very cool meta breaker that's squishy, with the electric and fighting typing having a lot of play in the current meta. I would love to see something like Volt Switch on there, Thunder Shock on there, even Counter would be ideal, or like, I don't know if it learns Karate Chop, but this Pokemon has a lot of potential for the future. But that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully, I will see you in the next one, and I will see you then. Bye bye.